Hey everybody, it's Coach Jenn Lee here again with another coaching tip for you. And today's tip is actually part one of a 5-part series that I'm producing and dedicating to all of my job seeker friends and followers out there. And I know there's many of you. You know, there's two types of job seeker right now. There's the job seeker that was kind of told it's time to look for another job. And then there's also, believe it or not, lots of you out there that are no longer happy in your current position and are ready to venture out and find another job. Well, these tips are designed to help both ends of the spectrum. Okay, first off, to kind of lay the groundwork, wanted to let you guys know that I'm speaking from personal experience as well as a lot of the research that I've done in helping some of my coaching clients in the past. My personal experience was in 2001, right after 9/11, the rug was pulled out from underneath me. I was working for a company that I loved, in a position that I loved and that I was great at, and in my favorite city, which was Chicago, Illinois. And on October 4th, I believe, it wasn't too far after 9/11, HR called me in and I was one of the 100 people that they laid off that day instantly. Totally blindsided me. So glad that it happened, because through a series of events after that, it led me to really what my ideal job is, which is coaching and motivational speaking. So I wanted to kind of just let you know I understand from personal experience your fears and insecurities. Okay, now that we've got that established, let's go on to the tips. The first tip has really been inspired by a lot of emails that I've received recently from people who are saying, hey Jen, if you know anyone that's hiring, I sure could use a reference and use some help, but oh, by the way, I don't have a college degree. Or I get an email that says, you know, hey Jen, I'm 55 years old and I know I'm kind of old and I'm at the end of my career path, and if you know of anybody who'll throw this old lady a bone, I sure would appreciate it. Okay. Or, hey, you know what? I don't have any experience. I worked at this one particular company for 20 plus years. They've laid me off and now I have no experience. That industry has gone away or something's happened to it. A lot of people in the real estate world and also out at Kennedy Space Center, I live here in Orlando, Florida, are experiencing those types of things. So those seem to be the 3 limiting beliefs or huge obstacles and blocks and conversations that I'm finding you're having with yourself, which is really kind of getting in the way of your ability to be able to move forward. So tip number 1 is to get the heck out of your own way. These are things and stories that only you are really noticing, not everybody else. So let's take all 3 examples and talk about them for just a few moments. Okay, number 1, the college degree debacle. I get more people that are so talented that have actually climbed the ladder of success within their previous company that do not have college degrees, and now all of a sudden they think they're not going to get any other job except for something at a car wash. That's a limiting belief. It's just not true. Now, granted, if you are applying to be a brain surgeon or an accountant or a lawyer or one of those other professional services that do actually require specialized education to be qualified for your field, well then yeah, heck yeah, you need a college degree. But your reality is your reality. So if you don't have a college degree, that's your reality. Work with it. I would even suggest that it's okay to seek out positions that say 4-year degree required. Now, before HR people start calling me and say, stop, I don't want those resumes. What I'm saying is if you see that there's a job that really matches your qualifications based on your experience, your strengths, and your successes of the past, you're actually doing them a disservice by not trying to find a way to grab the ear of the hiring person, whether it be the sales manager, the marketing manager, the president, or the HR person. Go ahead and put it out there on the table. Yes, it's true, I do not have a 4-year degree, but please take a moment and look at my qualifications. And in a couple of tip videos coming up, I'm going to talk about how you can use your network of friends and influencers in your life to help you get your foot into the door. But I guess my big thing is for the non-college degree people, that's your reality. Please don't let that stop you from moving forward. Somebody hired you before without a degree, and most likely you've worked there for a while, so somebody will again. Now, for those that do have college degrees and seem to think, well, I've got a college degree, why aren't they hiring me? Well, let's refer back to all those hustlers out there who are saying, you know what, I don't have one, but I've got some experience behind me. So either way, don't let that college degree be this big obstacle that stands in your way. Number two, I get a lot of people that say, Jen, I'm 55 years old, no one's gonna hire me. They're gonna only hire those whippersnappers that just graduated college. Well, here's a secret. I get phone calls and emails from the young whippersnappers that say, Jen, I'm right out of college, no one's gonna hire me because I don't have any experience. Well, you're both kind of wrong and right at the same time. There are going to be some job positions that are going to look for people with experience. It's not necessarily the people that have just gotten out on the streets that's going to be a positive impact on that particular position. They really look for people who have been there, done that, experienced life a little bit more. Some positions are going to require that. Well, on the flip side, there's going to be some positions where they say, you know what, I don't want somebody with a lot of baggage. I want someone who's got some new, fresh ideas, maybe right out of school or just starting in this industry and they're really, really hungry. So they're better qualified for that particular position. Either way, your reality is your reality. You're either 55 years old or you're either 24 years old. You can't change either one of them, so just own it. And then the third thing that I hear a lot of people talk about, especially if they're wanting to go into a new industry, is, gosh, I've only known this specific industry and that's where all my experience is. Who would hire me for a completely different industry? Well, it's going to be the person that's going to look at your talents and your strengths and say, hey, they've got the skills that'll help in this new industry. Don't let that stop you from jumping into a completely new pool. That's kind of where the fun begins. When you realize, I'm tired of being an accountant, I think I'm ready to do something in marketing. Let's look at your strengths, your passions, and your skills, and how will that play a positive role in this new industry or even type of job altogether. I guess what I'm really trying to say through all of this long-windedness is that there's enough real obstacles that are in your way that we have to kind of find our way to break through. Let's not let any of them be mental obstacles that you're putting in your own way. It's important that you get out of your own way so that you can gain the clarity that's needed for you to be able to see the opportunities out there and go after them with a gusto. All right, so I'm Coach Jenn Lee, and that is tip number 1, and I look forward to seeing you later this week for tips number 2 through 5. Take care.